Hello, and welcome to another episode of No Small Roles, a D&D podcast where there are no small roles, but massive questions about what's going on. I don't know if there
going on.
What is happening? I don't even know. I hope someone will tell me. I'm joined with my 5 regular players. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Let's just dive straight into it tonight. Ready? Cue the theme tune.
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. You'll have your character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice to roll. This is your story. No guts, no glory. Confront your fate with every roll. Every
rises inside, one who will pay the price. Their chance of success will rest upon the dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Roles.
Following your investigation of the Knocking Point robbery and hoping to help one of the local guard find a witch, you headed into the Lockhold Wood hoping for some answers. You realised very quickly that you had no idea where you were going, so Juna turned to the local sparrows for aid and you were led northward through the trees. Stopping to pick some pears for a late lunch, Gwendellyn spotted some nearby deer, and realising that a meatier meal was on offer, Orryn and Enkidu fired their shortbows. The undead deer that you had attacked then reared their bloody heads and charged, leading to a hurried brawl with many deer eyes being jabbed out. Later, you met Matrim Brug, a hunter and gamekeeper for the Vondel estate, and whilst Juna was sceptical of his eagerness to send you on your way to the witch, you all agreed to follow him back to Tillisham. Back in town, you discovered that you all had a knack for stealth and proceeded to enjoy a competitive sneak-off. Followed the hunter as he returned to the estate. As the sun set, you stood on one side of the river looking at the manor house on the opposite bank. And that's where we pick it up. What are your plans for the evening, everybody?
I think going straight to bed and...
Taking a long rest, enjoying the fact that you've all leveled up to level 2.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a little around, didn't we?
Yeah, are we still at the mansion?
Yeah, so you're on the opposite side of the river, sort of looking over it. You can see like the gate and wall that runs around. It's quite a large estate. It sort of follows the river down quite a way. And peeking over the wall, you can see the manor house itself and part of the ruined tower that's been built.
Well, if we suspect Lady Vondel to be, up to any illicit activity, I mean, she would be potentially partaking in these activities right now. I mean, I'm not proposing breaking into the place, but if she's up to anything shady, she will be doing it now when less eyes will be on her.
I mean, do we know anything about, the layout of this place? All we know is it's a mansion, so, we don't know what security they got, so there's no harm. I agree. Go and have a little look-see in the windows and that, getting a basic layout. You never know, there might be, a part of that mansion that seems to be, especially shifty that could be useful to know about when we go to Mara.
I do think, though, we mustn't, if we do anything, we mustn't get caught, because we've got an invitation into the belly of the beast tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that could be very useful.
I mean, if we do get caught, I can always just claim I was confused about when luncheon was, maybe.
Or maybe the safer option is for you to not be with us, just in case we get caught, and then we ruin everything.
I think I can be around for this. I think I'd probably be quite useful if you do get caught.
I think you'd be essential if we get caught.
Well, okay, I guess the question is, can we sneak onto the property, or are the people around that... Why am I speaking in that accent? I guess the question is, can we sneak onto the property? Are the people around, or does it look pretty clear?
So yeah, from your side, from the side of the river that you're stood on, there's a bridge over the river, not too far from you, and you can see that the path on the other side leads sort of northward, out toward farmland and things like that, but it also curves, splits and curves back towards the estate. There is quite a high wall around it. It's probably about 10 feet high, with occasionally like little iron, almost like little alcove windows, like peering into the estate along the riverfront. From the bridge, if you sort of wander down to get a better view, you can see that there are a few trees lining up to the main gate, but you can't necessarily see people moving around from where you are.
I'm going to go take a closer look. I'm far too curious. Let's start walking.
Are you all following, or just Enkidu crossing the bridge?
I'm going to go for a promenade across the bridge. Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll come. I don't see why not. Can't do any harm.
Just take a nice sunset stroll.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're taking in the sights.
Wonderful. So you cross the bridge and you follow the path sort of toward the gate, especially as you're all looking out for stuff. Everyone make a perception check.
No.
7.
10.
7.
We're looking at the sunset.
It's the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen.
Yeah, I got 7 as well.
Come on, Enkidu, save us here.
Yeah, 4.
Wow.
Oh my
10
gosh.
was the highest.
Yeah, -1, baby.
You're all incredibly distracted. What I will say then is that you notice the gate, and the gate, the path follows through it. It's quite a nice iron-wrought gate. It's got a big symbol of... It's like a circle of 3 entwined thistles, just in the centre of it.
Do I recognise this design?
Make a history check. I suppose it might have come up in some of your...
No, that is a 5.
5. No. Unfortunately, it's...
Could I ask the same question?
I will let you also, make a history check as well.
Yeah.
Especially as you're both from...
8.
8.
Why bother?
I'm just... That sunset is so dazzling.
I'll say for an 8 that you are at least aware that it looks similar to, like, noble... What do they call it? Sigils? Noble, like, shield?
Coats of arms?
Yeah. That it's almost like the house symbol of the Vondels.
Okay.
Is what you assume. Like, you're not sure if it is, if it's just a very nice... decoration on the gate, but it has the air of that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even with an 8, you'd know that. So, yeah, with your perception checks, like, that's really all you notice on the gate.
I assume the gate is shut.
The gate is shut. It is locked. You can see some lights inside, sort of people turning on lights as it's getting darker outside, inside the house. That was a weird way to say that. The lights are being turned on inside as it gets dark outside. But apart from that, it's just a very glorious sunset. It's sort of catching the clouds and making some of them pink and purplish, sort of as it dips to an orange across the farmland.
It's very beautiful.
I'm just going to pull the group aside and just be like, okay, just to clarify here then, as we're going to be like maybe attempting to infiltrate this place and sneak in and see what's what before we come back tomorrow. To clarify, we want to find out what?
I'm not really very sure. I'm just going along with the group, if I'm being honest.
Well, I suppose we want to see if there are any shady goings-on, so maybe we're looking for brewery equipment. I mean, I don't know why she would take it, but, maybe to control people, if they don't have their booze, they're controlled.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to clarify this place, because if we're going to case the joint, I want to know what we're looking for specifically. So we're looking for, like, brewery equipment. We're looking for... any shady goings on and stuff.
I mean, if they've got any creatures, I could ask them what's going on. No one can interrogate them because they're animals.
What, they got like a chihuahua or something?
Yeah, or
like
a horse.
little poodle?
Or another sparrow.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, does it?
I mean...
Makes total sense.
For the sake of this, I have no idea. We've seen a lot of weird stuff today that has not made sense. Okay, in that case then, like, some people going one way and some people going another way. What's the crack here?
Well, I suppose if we needed any sort of diversion or something like that, I mean, I could probably stroll right up to the front door and have a chat and do a bit of distracting if that's useful. But it depends if we need distracting.
No, I would recommend like the best thing to do when you're going to try and like break into a place or at least look into a place is that like you don't want your presence known about. So therefore, why don't like we have like one team go around the left side of the house, the other team go around the right side of the house and like have a look around, see if we can find anything. What do we think, gang?
Sounds good for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't often break into places, but I'm sure that's the way it's done.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a friend of a friend of a friend.
Right. And I suppose maybe looking at the gamekeeper's place might be an idea because he had some sort of magical thing, didn't he, Orryn, that you said you could see?
Yeah, he had something of the transmutation magic on his belt. I don't think I could tell what it was.
How far can you track that, Orryn?
I think hold fart.
Hold fast.
Chris, is your entire shirt open?
Yeah, it's very hard to
Just saw you lean back and all the hairy chest.
I've slowly been undressing as the night's gone on.
I really like the idea that Guy is just there with his shirt completely open, just like wafting in the evening wind.
Oh yeah, it's a lovely like dirty silk shirt.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just bellowing. The frill is real.
What's the chest hair situation on Gaius?
Well, he's half elf, so 2.
Minimal.
Has he named them?
Oh, you have to know him a bit more to find out.
I just imagine Gaius is getting ready to be on some sort of calendar.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
So I can only see something within 30 feet of me with my goggles on.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, so we got you going to the gamekeepers and like anybody going with you?
I'll go with Orryn.
I don't mind going.
Sure.
I'll go wherever I'm needed.
Now, you did, when you were following the hunter, you did watch him as he entered the whole estate.
Ah,
So he's somewhere within the walls, his cottage or wherever
Yeah.
he was heading. Okay. So, I mean, that's not going to help unless we can get over the walls.
How high are the walls?
About 10 feet.
10 feet.
oh,
That's
Oh, we
doable.
can climb
That's no
those.
problem.
Speak for yourself.
Would you like me to pass you over in some sort of way? Or you can get on my back, Juna.
Oh, Gwendolyn, that's very kind of you.
Lovely. I'm going to try and climb over the wall with Juna on my back.
Wonderful.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe at a more useful place than the gate.
The front gate. I was going to say,
We'll just do a very like sleuthy, like chilled out perimeter check.
Yeah.
yeah, everyone,
Yeah.
or one person make an investigation check with advantage, or I suppose a survival check. You're looking for something sturdy enough to climb.
I mean, I don't mind doing investigation.
Yeah, that's kind of your thing.
Yeah?
yeah, definitely.
You've got a good head for mechanics.
Yeah.
I assume, having known you for a day.
You know me well. 24.
24. Oh, definitely then. You head along sort of the river bank side of the wall, and there really isn't much to climb on that side. There are a few trees on the opposite side that you think, if some of the branches were a bit lower, you could maybe grab onto. But it takes you probably about half an hour to walk right the way around the perimeter until you get to the north side, where one of the walls is completely covered in vines. And like you give them all a tug, you do like sort of give a good sturdy check, and you're sort of satisfied that not only is there nobody to the north side near enough, like it opens out into fields and farmland and things like distant houses, so you think this is probably a good spot that nobody's going to see you climbing, but also that on the opposite side, having checked in some of these small alcoves as you've and small little windows as you've gone along, you think you're going to land in a grove of trees and not like directly in anything dangerous.
Right, okay, I think this is the spot, guys. So, shimmy up these vines, I guess.
Right, Juna, on my back.
I can try and climb these vines if that makes your life easier.
I mean, I don't mind either way. I'm happy to have you on my back, or I can go after you so I can catch you if you fall. How about that?
Oh, thank you. That'd be lovely.
Juna, do you want to make an athletics check if you're going first?
Yeah.
While this is all going on, DM, I'm just going to be keeping an eye out for any like eyes that are looking towards us.
Cool, make a perception check.
6 for athletics.
6.
Oh my gosh.
So you get a
I mean,
few...
we could do acrobatics if that, you know.
No. But as you get a few up, and you realise quite quickly that actually, because of your stature, these vines, like the stronger, sturdier vines, are just that little bit too far apart for you to like reach and try and grab. So you only get about like 2 feet off the ground, and you realise you've got to come back down again.
Oh, Gwen, I think it might be a bit much for me.
Not a problem.
I climb on Gwen's back.
How was the perception check, guys?
23.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're really satisfied. Like, you keep a good eye out on the horizon. You keep scanning both ways along the wall, listening out to any movement on the opposite side. There's no one around. This is a really safe place to sneak in.
Nice. Okay, guys, hurry up. Go.
I'm going the fastest I can. All right.
So you all clamber up over the wall, dropping down one by one on the opposite side. And there are about 5 or 6 trees just where you are. And sort of looking along the wall, like, you can see these little, like, pockets and little groves and things of trees all across the way. It's quite a wide, open space, largely, though. Mm-hmm. Sort of there are the odd tree here and there across the main lawn, but it is quite open. You'd be easily spotted running across. It has gotten dark by this point, but it's not necessarily, like, midnight dark. It's probably about 8:30, 9-ish.
How about we move maybe one person at a time to a much more secluded area so we can get a bit more of a vantage point?
Yes.
I'm happy to go ahead.
Can we all agree, like, if anything bad happens, this is our escape route? Like, this wall, these vines right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So we're splitting into 2 groups, or are we staying together?
No one should go by themselves.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, if there's a big band of us, they're going to attract attention, no?
Yeah.
Where are we trying to get to? I'm not quite clear where we're going.
Yeah, we're trying to do like a perimeter of the mansion, looking into any windows we can see. And also we're trying to go to the gamekeeper's place to just have a little peek around there, see if there's anything magical.
I mean, just as a thought as well, I don't know whether we want to check out the tower, whether that feels like a good place to go and have a look.
Definitely want to see the tower.
It's possibly not going to be as busy as the mansion.
And easier to infiltrate than the actual mansion.
Yeah, lovely.
So I suppose we're kind of going up to the closest part of the building to us and peeking through the windows and being really stealthy then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, I think I can manage that.
I think you can manage that too.
Do you think we should wear some bits of the trees, maybe as like camouflage?
No.
Oh.
Keep low to the ground, move slowly, and we should be fine.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to put a few twigs in my hair, just in case, you know.
Oh, Enkidu rolls his eyes and says, do what you want.
Gwen, if we do get caught, and your get-out clause on this one, I don't know how you're going to explain the fact that you've got half a tree in your head now.
Cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's get moving.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. So you're heading towards the main manor house?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Can everybody make a stealth check, please? Because that involves open, sort of crossing open land.
Not bad. 19.
Oh, 9.
6.
Oh, no!
And I have got a tasty 16.
I got an 18, so I think those twigs really help.
And that's the distracting conversation that Juna and Orryn start having. Like Enkidu, Gwen, and Gaius like dart right the way across, like tree to tree. And Juna and Orryn are just sort of trailing along the back, being like, it doesn't look, it's not even arranged them that well. What you do notice, actually, Juna and Orryn, as you're toward the back of the group, is that to your left, toward the east, you do see a small hut sort of nestled into the trees right in the far corner. You're far enough away that the 5 of you moving together as a unit, you're quite happy that you've not been seen. But you do notice that as you approach the main house. From where you are, the sort of the northern edge of the house, make a perception check as you move forward tree to tree, and then you find yourself behind a nice sort of low bush in a little copse, just like that you all settle yourself down in and start having a scan of the northern side of the house, of the manor.
I'm still just staring at Gwen's twigs and her.
Oh, who's doing perception? We all are.
Yeah, everyone can, as you're all sort of looking together.
12?
6.
11.
10.
I mean, I'm offering it out to everyone because I'm hoping the rolls are going to get better.
Oh my gosh.
No small rolls, they said.
No small rolls. Not this episode.
I mean, they're not saving throws, are they? Because
This is true. Can you imagine? Juna, from your view, you're the one that sort of probably catches it, is that toward the back of the house, the eastern wing again, there is a light on in one of the first floor windows. It doesn't look like candlelight as the thing. It's got sort of a bluish glow to it, which is what draws your attention. And it is quite soft, which is probably why the others missed it. You can't quite see in the window from where you are. You'd have to move round toward the east a bit more, which would bring you closer to the hunter's lodge. But you you notice that there is some movement upstairs.
I don't mean to distract you, but there's a funny blue light coming from that window over there. Can you see it? Orryn, can you see it?
I'll have a look at the window. I haven't set on my goggles yet, so I'm just looking at the window.
Mm-hmm. With Juna pointing it out, you again can see this like soft blue glow coming from there.
Does it look like a magical glow? Is it a type of glow that I would recognise?
It sort of looks a little bit like, almost like rippling water, like refracting off of rippling water. It has that sort of essence to it. So you're not sure whether or not that means that it is magical or that someone's just got a little pool or a bath or something up there with some lights.
So either someone's having a really fancy bath or...
set up the fairy lights. They've gone for a really they're just having a soak. But you can't quite tell whether or not it's that or it's magical.
Do we want to get a bit closer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just the two of you, or is everyone going to follow?
I'll keep hidden where we are so I can throw anything at anyone if kind of keep them covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll team up with Juna.
Cool. In which case, and Gaius, are you going to stay with Gwen or go with?
I'll stay with Gwen.
Cool. Juna, Orryn, and Enkidu, then can you make a second stealth check?
Come on.
Oh, I rolled exactly the same. 6.
8.
We were so stealthy last time, gang.
So stealthy, what happened?
This time...
Yeah, I feel like I've broken my dice.
I know, me too. I've just rolled 2s and 3s all evening.
Yeah, 15? Is that alright?
15. 15 is it's alright. You've still got the cover of darkness to help you along at least. Oh, which is the point, Orryn, you probably can't see a lot.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
He's not doing so well anymore in this light.
Yeah, you can see the light from the window, and that's...
Put your hand on my shoulder, Orryn. Just follow me.
Thanks, Juna. Yeah, I will. I'll turn on a light, but I feel like that might be counterproductive.
Maybe that's what your 6 is.
Yeah.
Is that you start turning on a light, you're thinking about it, and then you're like, ooh.
No. Put it away.
I put a soft hand on Juna that my powers have grown somewhat, and I can see far into the darkness if necessary. So I don't mind taking point.
Oh, it's very kind of you.
Yeah, which is probably why your stealth check is just that little bit higher. As you're moving along, you just keep a good watch out. And there is like a brief moment of something moving in the bushes. But then you realise it is just a flurry of birds, or maybe small bats. You're like, okay, no, we're safe. Yeah, you edge right the way around for a good view. Again, you find yourself a nice little tree to sort of peek out from behind, sort of blocking the Hunter's Lodge view from you, which you do notice has got a light on as well. Even Orryn, you could see that. Sort of, it's very clear that somebody is home.
Oh, and that's what the small hut is, the Hunter's Lodge, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And as you sort of focus in on this little sort of glowing window, all you can make out is a woman in some sort of gown type of a thing, completely silhouetted by this soft bluish glow sort of in front of her. She seems to be making some kind of sort of movements with her arms, as if she's like rotating a big, rotating a table. It's got that kind of, driving a big truck. She's got one of those, that kind of action going on.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you can't see who it is. You can't see, because she's so silhouetted, you can't see what it is that she's interacting with or what she's doing. But she's stood in front of the glow, like moving something.
I see.
Can I make, I don't know, like an arcana check to see if, I recognise what she's doing with her arms? Or
make an arcana check.
Yeah.
Am I able to assist in any way? Because I know a bit about arcana.
Yeah, you can have advantage for that.
Okay. With advantage, then, that would be 21.
21, nice.
Yeah.
So, you're not certain what it is that she's doing. She is clearly in the motions of performing some kind of ritual, some magical ritual. Whether or not that is involving an object, you can assume as much from the movements that she's making. But you can't tell necessarily what kind of ritual she's performing. Just that she's clearly doing some magic up there.
What did you see? What's going on there?
I'm gonna, so I've realised I should have done this before, I'm gonna basically point to Enkidu and message into his head what I see, rather than telling him.
Yeah, so, Enkidu, you get sort of the full description of, it's sort of an odd experience.
Yes.
Having Juna's voice in your head. There are already enough voices in there that you're like, whoa, I don't need another one.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, hearing Juna, but at the same time she sort of describes everything you see. with message, can you reply to it?
Oh yeah, they can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. Yeah, so he can reply if he wants.
25 words or less, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to reply.
Okay, yeah, I will reply.
It's more a tweet than anything else.
It is a very, very short tweet. Understood. Perhaps getting closer would be dangerous. Let us move on to the lodge instead. And I have an inflection to imply that it was a question. End of message.
I give him an actual thumbs up.
Nice. So do the three of you return to Gwen and Gaius?
Yeah.
Cool. In which case, then, if all five of you are going to meet up and sneak over to the lodge, can everyone make another stealth check, please?
And obviously, I tell them what we've seen and fill them in with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Oh no!
Natural one.
Oh no!
24.
21.
12.
I cannot sneak.
Enkidu?
15.
The average is better.
So weird that my stealth rolls are so good right now. It's weird. It's like I've got camo on or something.
It's killing me. It's killing me.
Orryn's just going to try and pick up some sticks. In the dark, and he can't see.
Yeah.
So everybody sneaks off tree to tree, sort of running across open spaces to get to the next one. Orryn, you get distracted by some twigs on the floor. So you stop in the middle of the field.
Oh, God.
Because you're like, maybe this one's a thing. And you look up, and it's just dark around you. You can see the little bits of light from the house and from the hunter's lodge, but you cannot see anybody else.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Okay. I'm gonna have to light up one of the sticks a little bit.
My gosh.
So I'm gonna pull out a little bit of phosphorus from my pouch.
Bloody hell.
Just rub it on my stick a little bit. Just so I have a little glowing stick in my hand. Just a gentle little 5-foot glow around me.
Just 5-foot glow around you.
You've got a glow stick.
I've got a glow stick. I'm invincible.
Okay, guys. So we got who got it? Enkidu. Okay, good. And Juna. Good. Okay, excellent. And Gwen. Okay, wait. Where's Orryn?
You all do the slow turn. The camera is focused on all of you in the background. There's a little light that pings up.
Oh my god.
Slow turn as you all look over at it.
Son of a...
Oh, for goodness sake.
I'm just waving it around, trying to find where they've gone.
Oh, don't wave it. That makes you more obvious.
You're the guy who, you're just running away like Dr. Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Hey, over here!
How far is he from us?
He's probably about 30 feet away from you all.
Yeah, perfect. I cast Mage Hand, and I pluck the phosphorus out. I flick it out of his hand.
Outstanding.
Yeah. And then I just draw the Mage Hand back to me and then dissipate it after 5 feet, so hopefully you got the indication that we're in this direction.
I will follow the glowing stick.
No, it's the opposite direction. He flicked through the glowing stick, right?
Yeah, I flicked it out.
Flicked it away, and then the hand has gone back to him. So you're going to follow the stick or the hand?
I thought you were taking the stick. I said I followed the stick.
Oh, no. So this thing,
I can see the mage hand. Can I see the mage hand?
And you would have seen it.
Glowing hand.
You would have seen it with the when it flicked the stick away.
Okay, I'll follow the hand.
Oh my gosh.
Follow the hand.
I mean, you're welcome to run across the field after you.
Oh my gosh.
Go on, Orryn. Get the stick. Get the stick, Orryn.
Yeah, so
I'll follow the mage.
Eventually, after much toying with Orryn, he rejoins you. You're probably again about sort of 60 feet away from the hut. You're much closer. You've made your way. You're sort of between the wall and a few trees. So you feel like if you edge along that way and somebody holds on to Orryn because he clearly is not doing well tonight.
Just keep your hand on my shoulder this time, all right?
Right, yeah, sorry. I've thought the sticks would be a good idea. I was just, bad idea. Okay.
As you approach, who wants to go sort of take a closer look at the Hunter's Lodge?
I would like to.
I'll go have a look as well, yeah.
I just don't feel like I should be anywhere near anything right now.
Can you two make a stealth check, please?
Oh.
That's 17.
That is I can't count, a 7. Been gloating so much about how stealthy I am. It finally comes back to kick me.
Pride comes before a fall.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So you both approach. So what kind of things would she be looking out for?
Well, okay, she doesn't really know what she's looking out for because she's just trying to make sure that she can, like, do something. So she's kind of looking at everything, and I imagine that's why she's getting distracted and not being as stealthy as she should be.
Right. Cool. In which case, Gaius, you sort of edge ahead. And as you catch, like, a good view through one window, you see Matrim, the hunter that you met before, with another woman. She's human with deep bronze skin. She's got, like, sort of an amber brown hair and a low bun with, sort of grey eyes. She looks quite, she's wearing, almost like a staff uniform from the manor house. So you get the impression that she clearly works in the house in some capacity. The two of them are emptying a bag of stuff onto the table, having a chat. You can't quite see or hear what they're saying, but you do actually make a perception check to see what you see.
Okay, that's a 9 with a perception of 4, so that's going to be a 13.
Okay. You don't necessarily see everything that they're, like, taking out of this bag. It just looks like perhaps things that Matrim has sort of had with him during the day, like some food, some water skins, a couple of, like, sort of small potion bottle-y type things. Mm-hmm. However, at that point, Gwendellyn makes quite a noise behind you as she's tried taking a stick off of a tree.
Oh my gosh.
To add to, and it just makes this, like, crack noise, and the two, Matrim and this other woman inside the house just stop and look up.
As I hear the crack behind me, I'm going to immediately fall into a death drop.
To the floor.
Like, to the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Gwendolyn just holds the stick she's just pulled off in front of her.
There is a very tense moment. Gwendolyn, can you make a perception check from where you are to see if you can see anyone in the house?
That's a 17.
17. Okay, so you watch as Matrim walks toward the door.
Oh God.
Opens it. A bit of light floods out from the door onto the couple of steps that he has. It just takes like 1 or 2 steps out. Just looks out into the darkness. Can you make a quick stealth check? See if you can hide from them.
Is that both of us, or?
I mean, you're on the floor, Gaius, so you're pretty well hidden from...
18.
18. So yeah, you, like, dart behind the tree. Nobody is moving. Has a quick look around. Turns back again. Walks into the house. Closes the door. Sort of, again, from your view, you can see him sort of walk over to this woman and clearly is like, no, it must have been... Like sort of brushes it off as something else. Might have been an animal, or...
Okay.
That's perhaps one twig too many. Guy, do you think we should go any further?
He's taking some stuff out. Hang on. I'll cast message to Gwendolyn.
Oh my God.
And just be like, I looked inside. All I could see was him with a bag. Normal stuff. Nothing suspicious. Maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? Done.
How the fuck are you speaking inside my head?
I cast message again. After 6 seconds, because I have to wait 6 seconds. So I'm just like, wait. I'm just going to cast message and just be like, trick I picked up on the road. Don't like to use often unless necessary.
Right. Okay. Well, we could get a little closer and try and see if there is anything in that bag, but maybe we need Orryn to see if there's anything magic. Can you hear me?
I'm just going to nod vigorously and then, like, try and, like, slide back up the window and just be like, slide back up to the window and, like, ask Gwen if she could get Orryn. Oh, damn it. And then I'm going to wait 6 seconds. And then I'm going to cast... oh, shit, no, but if I cast something... Okay, when I'm casting, I'm just humming a tune really, really quietly.
To be fair, with message, it's you do have to whisper out loud. So it's all been like
yes,
a whisper.
Of course I do. Yeah, because that was the problem. That was my problem. So, oh, shit, yeah, okay. So
it's all... But it's all been like... It is a whisper, so it is quite like under your breath and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, then I will just cast it to Orryn. Just be like, Orryn, there's some interesting stuff potentially in this bag that he's pulling out. Can you sneak? You couldn't have told that I was using quotation marks. Sneak your way as best as you can here.
Yeah, I will turn to my two companions near me and go, okay, I think they want us, or me over there at least, to go and have a little look through that window.
I'm definitely coming with you. I'll be your eyes, Orryn.
I give military hand signs for moving quietly and together. So I kind of hold the three fingers. I swirl it around, and I just thrust them out, and then slowly put my palm out, and then make it.
I see none of that.
Is it that dark? I'm right in front of him. I'm right in front of him.
Juna says, I like you too, Enkidu, and I trust you as well.
Enkidu turns. He's kind of confused, but he's actually he's blushing slightly, and he just he just holds onto their elbows and just starts ushering them with him slowly towards Gaius.
The three of you make a stealth check so that you can close the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Oh, finally.
22!
24!
18.
18. Glorious.
Yay.
We made it, everyone. We made it. So yeah, especially having seen the other two, well, I say everyone, Orryn can't see what's going on, but with having seen the other two, the little path they took, you sort of follow their tracks and make it so that you've all got really good view of the window without being seen at all. You're probably about 15 feet away in the darkness, a little bit of light that's coming out of the window. You're all well away from that, so you're incredibly happy that you're hidden, but you've still got a really good view. Orryn, with your detect magic.
Yeah. So there's a question mark on that, firstly, of whether I'm going to cast it immediately, which will use some of my finite resources, or whether we can hang out in the bush for 10 minutes. I float that to the group.
Yeah.
Have we got 10 minutes?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know if
I don't think we have, but I think if you need 10 minutes, Orryn.
No, if we don't have time, and I'll sort of concentrate and quickly fiddle with my goggles, and they're up and running.
Cool, nice. Yeah, as you do that, there is a little bit on the things on your arm, all of the sort of the symbols. Yeah. They just, especially as it's a quicker casting, they just slowly rotate a little bit.
Do we see this, or is this just for Orryn?
Yeah, you probably wouldn't see it as it's sort of all in the dark. I don't know, is there, do they light up?
They might have a slight little tiny glow to them, potentially, yeah.
Tiny, not enough that it'd give your position away, but just enough that, Juna and Enkidu, especially as you're closest, you do just see this across Orryn's hand, just a little bit of a glow.
Yeah, sort of down his sort of forearm a little bit, across his hand, sort of down there.
And looking in, you watch, make a perception check.
15.
Yeah, especially with Gaius having pointed out that there's they're arranging things on the table. You do see that they've got food, water skins, potion bottles that are giving off a transmutation essence to them. And from your view as well, you can see that it is a milky iridescent liquid, maybe an oil.
Oh my gosh.
What you also see, then pull out of the bag, Orryn, with your 15, is your healing kit.
Oh my gosh.
It is you know that healing kit in and out. It's in its own little box that you've prepped and you've fiddled with yourself. It is definitely yours. And they also pull out some other random boxes and stuff that you can only assume are herbalism kits and the similar ilk. And they arrange them all on the table. They seem to have a discussion.
Furious.
Grab a few select items, including the healer's kits, the herbalism kits, some of the food. They sort of leave the water skins. And the potions bottles as well. They grab those. And then they head toward the door.
Okay, I'm going to get away from the window if they're coming towards the door.
Yep. Can everybody make a stealth check just to hide?
21.
19.
16.
24.
Yeah.
10.
No, that's all right. Even with the 10. So, as they approach the door, Orryn, you lose sight of them, but then you actually, with detect magic, do you have to be able to see the item, or can you see through?
So, it can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 foot of wood or dirt. But if it's just on their person in a bag or something, I'll see it.
No, and the walls aren't 3 feet thick anyway. So as they approach the door, you don't see what happens, but you do suddenly see a glow of conjuration. pass over, like it almost frames the door completely, and then it vanishes. It starts fading away. It just leaves like an after effect that the magic was there.
Oh, does it look like a similar kind of remnants of an effect to the one that we saw in the brewery?
Exactly the same as the one you had before.
Oh.
Yeah.
So as they went through the door?
Yeah.
And they've gone? They've disappeared? Or what? They
have not exited the house. The front door did not open.
But they are not in the house anymore?
You can't see them, at least, from where you are.
Did we recognize, did we recognize, or was there any significant features of the woman that was with the gamekeeper?
No. And actually, Orryn, having had a good look at her as well, she's not the same woman that robbed you in the woods. No. She's a new character, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Say what? Yeah, I will quietly whisper what I've discovered to everyone. Catch them up. Yeah, it seems like some sort of transportation mechanism, potentially. Something similar to what was used in the brewery. Transmutation, that can change people.
Yeah,
right?
Transfer one being or object into another.
I'm just wondering whether that old lady we met in the woods was actually an old lady or not.
Is a very good question.
Yeah, and also, like, the thing is, there's a new magic user in town, unless that's the witch. Because we only know 2 people in town who can do magic besides us, which is the lady of the manor and the witch.
That also depends on whether this witch actually exists. Or maybe they were made up by the Vondels to begin with. This could go on forever.
I suggest we go inside to the gamekeeper's cottage while he's not there, have a snoop around, see what we know about him, and then skedaddle.
I think that sounds like a sterling plan.
I think so, but I don't think we should all try to enter all at once.
Yeah, quick and easy.
Gwendellyn goes and tries and opens the door.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
You don't have to make any check. It's not locked.
Make a door opening check.
Make a door opening check.
She does it stealthily.
Yeah, so you open it up. The lights are still on. The candles are sort of dotted around the place. There's a small fire over in one corner. The first impression that you get is that it is a very normal domestic house. It's got sort of hunting equipment hooked and stacked along one wall near the door, but there's a large table in the middle with a few chairs around it. There's sort of a cooking pot over the fire. There's a mirror above the fire. It feels very normal. Sort of one large room that leads off to another sort of room it doesn't have a door between them. It's a nice open plan studio flat thing. Not that large. It is clearly a double bed in the second room. As you have a look in there, nothing jumps out straight away.
They're definitely gone. I'm thinking we should see if they have any brewery equipment, but I don't know what brewery equipment looks like.
I signal out for her to, don't move, stay there. And I kind of make my way over to her.
I carry on looking around.
I think I will follow Gwendolyn in, definitely.
I'll head in as well. I've still got a few minutes of my goggles.
Okay, I'm going to stay outside, but I'm going to keep a lookout. And I'm going to try and, hide as best I can.
Mm-hmm. So, everyone inside, make an investigation check.
Oh, perfect. -1 for this.
Natural 20.
Hey!
Yay!
Well, I see your natural 20 and raise you a natural 1.
Another one.
Another one!
Give you a 5 minus a 1, so that's a 4.
Wow.
Minus, baby, minus stats.
14.
Okay, so as you're looking around, and Gaius, actually, if you're going to sort of keep an eye out, can you make a perception check for anyone approaching?
Yeah, that's 22.
Yeah,
cool,
baby.
yeah.
Nice.
Eyes like a hawk, this one.
I am perceptive tonight.
Gaius is the guy.
This guy.
This guy.
This guy.
So, the 4 of you that dive on in, you start rummaging, but not with any sort of intensity. Again, there is nothing in this house, in this little lodge, that stands out as suspicious in any way, to begin with, anyway. There's a few bags to the sides, and again, you have a look over the food that they've left and some of the water skins that they've left, and they do seem to come from a whole range of different travellers. That's what you can assume, is that if the other things have been robbed from you, that these have clearly come from other people. One of the water skins is yours, Juna. So you're like, oh, okay, well, I've got that back.
Yeah, I will definitely take that back.
But Orryn and Enkidu's, for instance, your water skins actually aren't there at all. As you're sort of poking around the bedroom area, Juna, you look under the bed and move a couple of the boxes aside, and you find a book that looks incredibly old.
Yeah.
Like really quite weathered. The leather cover is sort of worn away a little bit and faded. A lot of the pages have torn around the edges and sort of withered a little bit. It looks like a little bit of like mold has almost crept into some of it as well.
50 Shades of Grey.
It's just a naughty, naughty book. It doesn't have a title, so you open it up and it is filled with
Smut.
arcane rituals.
Okay.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
You don't initially really understand what any of them mean. What languages do you speak, Juna?
I speak Common, Gnome, and Orcish.
Okay, so you can't even read it.
Okay. I am going to take it out and take it back into the main room and be like, I found this book. I can't read it myself. Can anyone else make any head nor tail of it?
I spent some time studying various languages. I don't mind giving it a try.
I've got ways and means as well if we need to.
Does anyone speak Elvish?
Yeah, I do.
Oh. Nope. Of all the long list of languages I have.
I love the idea that you're like, I do languages. And then like, just not this one.
I know, and Elvish isn't one of them. I'm like, that's wrong, right? After what? After all that? Oh my gosh, I'm disappointed.
Enkidu's there struggling, and then just Gwendellyn starts reading it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And Gwendolyn, as you're sort of looking at it, whilst you don't necessarily understand the magical language, the specifics that it's talking about, you can obviously read the words, and it is very clear that it is somehow talking about bringing people back from the dead.
Oh, here we go.
I tell everybody that. That's quite an unnerving book that they've got under their bed.
That's peculiar.
I mean, that might go some way to explaining some of these undead creatures we've been meeting.
Yeah.
That's true.
True. Necromancy.
Yeah.
Experiments for a bigger, more important target, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Well, Matrim, when we met him in the woods, had a dead deer, didn't he? Over his shoulder?
He did, yes.
It wasn't a rotting deer, was it?
No, I believe it was for the main house's dinner.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he can't be playing about with things.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with the book? Should we put it back where we found it or take it?
Well, it's either evidence or we put it back and they don't know we've been here. It depends. We don't know exactly what they're doing or why they're doing it. They might have a good reason.
Can you tell what you can, looking at it, it's just about raising the dead?
I mean, I'm not really... Magic isn't really my strong suit, so I can just get the kind of gist that it's about bringing things back from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try something.
Orryn starts fiddling with a quill, by the way, while this is happening.
Enkidu's going to place his hand on this book. He's going to close his eyes and whisper, anything, guys? Any insight here? I don't know how this works yet, but I'm willing to try.
Can you make a charisma check, please?
Oh, nah, it's a 9.
A 9.
Can we hear him saying anything?
Yeah, I'm saying it out loud.
Cool, because if I can hear it, can I give him guidance?
I'm just for storytelling. I want to let him keep this role.
Cool. Cool.
Because as you sort of say that, there is a voice that comes, Enkidu, and it just says, "Why don't you go fuck yourself, eh?"
Yeah. Enkidu, like his breath starts like, and like, you know, he's hyperventilating and he grips the table, and he's looking around.
None of us hear that, right?
None of you hear that.
Cool. Enkidu, you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I think that's not seen, Miss Sackthorne. I think I heard one.
What, when you touched the book?
I'm not sure if it was the book or it was... No, I think I'm going to stay away from this book. I don't think I should touch this. Not me.
I get out my little water skin that I've just got back and said, have some water, Enkidu.
I reach out a really shaky hand and I drink it, and a little bit dribbles down my chin a little bit, and I just kind of grasp her shoulder affectionately, say thank you, nod her some thanks and hand it back.
You'll be okay. You'll be all right, young man.
Thank you.
Guys, I don't know how long we're going to be alone out here. What's the plan?
Well, I suppose we could stay here and try and confront them when they come back.
Perhaps we'll have better opportunity for that tomorrow at lunch, where Metron will be on his guard, but we'll have more of a chance to see what's inside, how they operate, what the Vondels actually do around here.
Take the opportunity to get to see a bit more of the house and perhaps the tower then?
Yeah, perhaps.
Leave this place like we never came here?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Right. Gwendolyn very gingerly takes the book unless Orryn wanted to use it first.
Unless we're going to stay here for another 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Do I hear this from the doorway?
Yeah, you can be part of the conversation, yeah.
From what I see, is there anyone who's walking towards the...
No, and I'll carry over that really high roll that you had before. There's no movement outside.
There's no more movement out here if you need to do something, but do it now. And do it quickly. If you gotta do your 10-minute thing, start it now.
I've already started.
Oh, he started. Okay. Hey.
I mean, I could always rip out a few pages, maybe the most deathy-looking pages.
Yeah, I mean, that might give us, if we're trying to be hidden, he says, still fiddling with his quill, that might give us away.
Maybe you should, change, one or two of the symbols.
I think Orryn looks like he's about to do something, and I want to see what he's going to do. He's not let us down thus far. I think give the boy a chance.
Right. But a bit of graffiti afterwards might be a good idea.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
I mean, just for fun, if anything.
Yeah.
So you all Orryn takes his 10 minutes, or the rest of it. What are you casting?
So I'm using my quill of comprehend languages, if I may.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So then, once I've finished aligning my quill for Elvish in my 10 minutes, I'm then going to touch it to a page, and essentially I'm going to sort of trace over the letters with the quill. So it takes about a minute a page to understand a page. So I don't know how many pages are in this book, but I'm going to find the most interesting looking page if I can.
Can I guide Orryn to the more interesting one?
Yeah. In which case, Gwendolyn, make an investigation check with advantage.
10.
10. So you find one that you think is the most interesting. It's the one with most symbols on it. So
This one looks really magic-y. Look at all those symbols.
Yeah, you're right.
and Orryn, as you sort of pass your quill over the page, this one actually doesn't say a lot, but it is part of a ritual for necromantic magic. As you are sort of working your way through that page, and you sort of try and find the beginning and the end of the ritual as well. This one is specifically about raising a person. But having a quick flick through some of the other pages, if you've got the time, one or two of them are more about how to keep certain organs going and how to extend lifespan, that kind of thing.
I obviously report that back to the group.
Oh my goodness.
Extending lifespan.
That does not sound very pleasant. Or it might be very pleasant. It might be someone desperate. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know who and why. Does it have anything in there about what the ritual would involve, in terms of components? Yeah, or
components.
You got to kill 18 people or something.
No, most of it just seems to be. There seems to be a lot of things that you'd expect to be in a magical essence type of book, sort of certain crystals, certain materials of that kind of magical nature. Bodies, obviously. As you're sort of looking through for that, can you make an investigation check, Orryn?
23.
So yeah, it basically expounds loads of different things like rot grubs and, like I say, amber crystals. What is interesting, though, is that as you scan towards the back of the book, and it is fairly thick, you do find the name of the mage that's written it.
Oh.
And that name is Kralavin Servelt.
Crow.
Crow.
Yeah.
We met in the woods.
You came across a Crow, didn't you, in the woods?
Yeah, he was like a creepy little guy.
Also, Servelt is Servelt Square, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Are you
There was a
kidding me?
statue in the square.
Oh my days. What?
Someone looked at the statue, didn't they? Who looked at the statue?
I think...
We didn't look at it really very well.
Right, next time we're back there, we need to look at that statue.
Are you good at drawing?
Yeah, I'm pretty decent with a quill.
Okay. I wonder if, maybe not here, perhaps we should leave now and discuss this in the safety of the inn. Then we can replicate a drawing if it's within your skill set from Gwen's and Gaius' memory.
Do we want to leave some sort of message in the book? We know you have the brewery, return it, or there will be consequences.
I know what you did last summer.
I think maybe let's just leave it be.
I could leave them a fun little message.
Just a little message.
So Orryn's going to gently tap on the book, and you'll see a message appear on the front page that just says, naughty. That's going to be it.
So, Orryn.
Oh, naughty.
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 Someone's been raising the dead, you naughty.
Someone's been raising the dead.
Right, guys, I think we need to get out of here.
Or I'll go and put the book back.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
You all make your way out of the house, sort of close the door.
As I put the book back, DM, I would like to steal it and put it in my robe.
Amazing. Can you make a sleight of hand check, please?
Yeah. Oh no. Natural 1.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, Juna, you do tuck it into your robes, and you walk straight back into the room to be like, I've done it, everyone, and the book falls out of your robes.
No.
Oh dear, how did that happen?
Oops.
Oh, go and put it back.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe Orryn should put it back just
Yeah, just to be safe.
Just to make sure it's put back in the right place.
sticky fingers. I empathize. I completely do. But we got a job to do. Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's go.
I'll go and put it back properly. And on my way back past Juna, I'll just say, I'll give you some lessons one day.
Do.
Hello, wonderful listeners. Grace here with a few small notices before we carry on with the rest of the episode. First of all, we will be releasing a recap show of episodes 1 to 5 this week. Perfect if you want a refresher of the story so far. I know I'll certainly find it helpful. Or perhaps you have friends that would like to start listening to No Small Roles but want to jump right on into the action. Hopefully this will help them do just that. Second on the agenda is a shout out to the awesome Open Bar Theatre Company, a theatre company very close to our hearts. This September, Open Bar will be touring Fuller's Pubs with their open-air production of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Our very own Vicky Gaskin is one of the co-producers of Open Bar and will be taking on the roles of Caliban and Gonzalo. Our DM, David Knight, is the musical director, and I am being kept very busy with the costumes. Open Bar bring you brilliantly bonkers productions in beautiful pub gardens. So if you are based in the south of England and you fancy some Shakespeare in a pint, then see if you can catch a show. Go to www.fullers.co.uk and look for Shakespeare in the Garden, but be quick as tickets are selling fast. Of course, not all of you lovely listeners are based in England. So hello to our listeners in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Ireland, the United States, France, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Switzerland, Japan, and Canada. It's blowing our minds that our little adventure has already travelled further than some of us. We want to keep getting to know you all better, and we can do that through social media. We are on Twitter and Instagram at No Small Roles, and you can find our Facebook page by searching No Small Roles. Roles spelt R-O-L-L-S, as in roll at the barrel. We had some awesome zombie deer fan art from the incredibly talented Made with Lovey this week. Go to our social media to see her work and find out where you can follow her. And if you too are itching to draw some of your favourite No Small Roles moments, be sure to tag us so we can share your artwork. Episode 6 will be out on Sunday the 30th of August. Make sure you are subscribed to us on your favourite podcasting app, and if you haven't already, we would be so grateful if you could go and leave us a positive review and rating on iTunes. That's all from me for now. Let's take you back to Team Stealth.
So, outside of the lodge, you close the doors again. You've tried to make it look as much as if you hadn't been tampering with anything inside. Where are you headed next?
I'm imagining we haven't made it all the way around the...
No, you've actually only stayed to the north side of the manor.
Want to check out the tower?
Yeah, let's make a quick, sleuth around like you say, the tower and stuff, and then skedaddle.
Cool, so if you follow the perimeter around toward the east, sort of in a clockwise motion.
I've got my hand on Juna's shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Oh, of course, yes.
Those of you that can see in the dark, especially Enkidu, your eyes really adjusted to the darkness tonight. There are actually two more buildings, or sort of two more structures. There is the ruined tower off to the south, but then between you and that at the moment, there is another building, which for people like Gwendellyn, you'd recognise quite easily as a stables. As you hug the wall, moving around, does anyone want to go into the stables or sort of leave it be?
It does seem like the sort of place you could hide things.
I'm well up for the stables.
I'm going to keep guard outside.
I'm happy to go have a little look in the stables.
Yeah.
I'll go in because I'm no good outside.
Yeah.
I'll stay outside with Enkidu.
Cool. Enkidu and Gaius, then, can you both make perception checks to keep a watch?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dirty 20.
It's a very clean 4. Small roll, baby.
Small rolls. Okay, so Gaius is very happy keeping watch. Enkidu, because your vision has, like you say, you've never been able to see this far in the dark before at night time.
Yeah.
And you're just getting really distracted by the night sky, and you can see each of the birds flying so much clearer. It's really you're just getting a little bit. You're not actually looking out for any movement.
Okay.
Juna, Gwendellyn, and Orryn, can you all make a stealth check to get to the stables?
Ooh, 21.
22.
A 7. Ooh.
With the other two helping you along, Gwendellyn, what's distracted you this time?
I think my sticks have started falling off, and that's the problem.
Right.
I'm just they're falling off, and then I'm kind of stepping on them, and my dress it's not really the best for sleuthing sometimes, so I'm getting a bit caught up in my dress.
With the other two, though, they are helping you along. Every time you get distracted, they scurry back to scoop you up and carry you forward. You reach the stables. It's all close up. There is a small door to the north. There is you sort of do a quick skirt. There is sort of a large double doors to the south. Which would you rather go in?
Small door?
Yeah.
Small door?
Yeah.
Again, it's not locked. You open it up, and it leads into a small, say, a changing area. There's there's riding gear, like helmets and boots and crops and those kinds of things, all arranged in a very nice room. Obviously, the smell is very stable, lots of horse poo and hay wafting into your nostrils. But as you move through into the main area, you actually find that it is almost completely empty. There are stalls enough for maybe 10 horses, but there is only one that has a horse in, and that horse being the white stallion Thaddeus. Make a quick investigation check, all of you.
11.
Yay, natural 20.
Yeah. Good, because I got a 7.
Why does it keep falling on 7s, everyone? What's that about?
No.
I'm looking at you, Juna.
No small rolls, just 7s.
What's next episode sorted?
Yep. Gwendellyn, again, you've been in stables in your life. You know how they should be worked, how they are arranged. This one has been meticulously cleaned out. Oh. It's not that it's things are missing, that they don't have the horses. That there's no carriage in here at all. Everything has been removed and cleaned.
I relay that to the others, and it's very strange. It certainly feels like something's been here, and they've cleaned up very well after themselves.
Why would they cleaned it up? They're going to bring something in, or they're taking something out?
I don't know. I'm not going to lie, I wish I could ask this lovely, beautiful steed, but I'm afraid I just don't have the skills.
He's a bit big for you, Juna.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, Orryn, didn't you say that there was kind of traces left over when you investigated the brewery? Perhaps if the brewery materials were stored here, there would be traces left behind unless it was cleaned there very, very thoroughly.
Yeah, there were little drops of oil and stuff that I found in the brewery. I can have a little look around on the floor, just have a scout round.
It's worth a try if you still are able to look with your goggles.
I think my goggles have probably faded. Unless it's been less than 10 minutes.
It's not.
Nope. Can I just have a look around on the floor for little globules of stuff? And
especially with Gwendellyn pointing out, especially where it's been cleaned, there is no sign of any oils beyond sort of what you'd expect, sort of horse. I'm about to make something up, and I don't know if it's true. To all of the horse enthusiasts out there, my equestrian fans, I'm assuming there are oils that you rub into their skins to clean them and their furs and things. Is that right? Please comment below. I don't know where below is. The sort of stains that you'd expect in a stables are there.
Yeah.
There is
nothing non-stable related.
There's none of that milky transmutation oil anywhere.
Does it look like any of the the hay is flattened as if things had been stored in here?
No, there's actually, apart from in the stall that Thaddeus is in, there is no other hay.
Oh.
There's some aside that clearly is ready for him, like to be fed to him. Yeah, and all of the other stalls are that cleaned out. There's no hay in them.
What if Thaddeus is a zombie horse?
Guys, what's going on? We need to get going.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear in here.
It's suspiciously clean.
Yes, and a family with this sort of money to only have one horse.
Is that not normal?
No, not at all. Have you seen the size of the manor? One horse is preposterous.
No carriage as well.
No carriage.
I mean, is it possible they're just out at the moment on the horses?
Is Enkidu in this conversation? Is he too far away?
I'd say the Enkidu and Gaius are at the door again. So keeping a watch of edged closer.
Well, perhaps they're not very good at hiding the fact that they can just teleport this bloody stuff in.
Yeah, I'd only have one horse if I could just teleport everywhere.
That makes sense.
I mean, the most normal aspect is that they just keep it tightly stable, but otherwise, yeah, like they don't need to have horses around everywhere. But I mean, is there anything else we can glean from this stable, or should we move on?
Can I have a look at the horse and just go and give him a little sort of pat on the muzzle?
Nose.
I only know one part of a horse, and that's because it's a Gaskin.
Oh,
Really?
What is a Gaskin?
Yeah.
what?
It's like part of the hind leg of a horse, so it's not where you would stroke a horse.
yeah.
No.
It's the only part I know, though.
Is that where the name comes from?
No one really knows.
That maybe
Potentially.
horse rearers, breeders.
Yeah, from Ireland.
Oh.
Anyway,
There you go.
I don't touch the Gaskin, but I touch the face.
Touch the Gaskin.
Make an animal handling check then.
14.
14. Okay, so he doesn't freak out at your approach. In fact, all of you moving around, Thaddeus just seems quite content. It's trotted a bit back and forth, in his stall. He's just eating some hay. He's probably not used to being this many people being in there at this late at night, but he seems really well cared for, actually, as you take a good look, Juna. Yeah, his flanks are really well groomed. His mane and
How are his Gaskins?
I mean, you don't want to touch them. I wouldn't touch them, they're well kept. Whether or not Trimpt is doing this himself, or maybe Matt Trim is looking after this horse, they're doing a really good job. It looks very healthy.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing odd about the horse?
No, not at all.
Cool.
What if we kill him?
What?
Excuse me?
I mean, he is unnaturally healthy while so many animals around here are dead. Didn't your book detail spells about how to keep organs going? What if the price of keeping one animal alive, one creature alive and so healthy for so long, is the blood and livelihood of other animals?
I mean, I don't know if you jump into conclusions there, Enkidu. It might just be a well looked after horse.
I don't know. Maybe my prejudice is speaking out. It looks like more money is spent on keeping this horse in good nick then.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I agree with you on that, but killing this horse isn't going to fix that, I'm afraid.
I put a hand on Enkidu's shoulder and say, we all understand where you're coming from, Enkidu. We all understand.
I don't think I do.
Gwendellyn getting very confused in the corner.
I'm so confused. Please don't kill the horse. Thaddeus is lovely.
The stupid plan I had in my mind was that if we killed the horse, maybe we'd have proof of their necromancy experiments if we saw him walking around the next day. But yeah, it was a stupid idea.
I'm sure there's other ways we can do things rather than killing a beloved pet.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah, I think we need to check out this town.
In which case, everyone make another stealth check, please, as you head toward the south edge.
12.
Unnatural 20.
9.
12.
18.
So, you've, as you're sort of discussing theories on the horse, and Gwendolyn and Enkidu especially are getting into a little discussion about how much money should be spent on looking after a horse. You make your way south, and again, there doesn't seem to be any movement. What is interesting is, in this whole estate, you've really not actually noticed a huge amount of wildlife at all. There are a few birds around, but there's no foxes. There's no deer running around, and actually, there's enough space that you'd expect that there could be deer in this park, in this estate. But eventually, you make your way down toward the folly itself. As you approach, it's a circular tower, and from the side that you're approaching, it's completely crumbled away. On the opposite side, the walls raise maybe about 2 floors, but again, it's a ruin, is what it is, what it looks like. There's a curved stairway that runs along the crumbled wall, leading up to a small platform with a window at it that you can imagine actually looks quite nicely out over the town. It's probably a really nice view. It's way above the 10-foot wall, so you can imagine that actually it's quite a nice view to the south. In the centre of this whole circular tower, though, there is a statue of a rearing dragon.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's got sort of patches of moss all over it, and it looks aged, but again, from knowing that this thing was only built probably about a year ago, you get the impression that this has been aged up. It's maybe not necessarily a really old statue.
How big is the statue?
About the size of a horse.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of life size. Much smaller than what you've heard in actual dragons. Have any of you heard about dragons?
Maybe in my education, yeah.
In storybooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, storybooks or maybe history.
Yeah, I feel like if dragons are part of the world, I may have encountered stories of dragons or bits and bobs of dragons on my travels.
I've probably read about one somewhere, but...
Yeah. Not necessarily like first-hand ever actually seeing one, yeah. So what you know is that obviously they're described to be much, much bigger than this. But this, at the same time, looks quite lifelike. A little bit stylistic, but it's a very nice statue, actually.
What can anyone see?
Orryn. I relay. It's like a tiny dragon with bits of moss on.
I'm gonna touch the statue. Just have a feel.
It's cold stone. It's a sort of it's a grey stone. You're not quite sure what it's necessarily made of. Yeah, it just feels cold. Doesn't react to you touching it.
So there's stone steps leading up. There's the dragon, and there doesn't seem to be there's no inside.
No, there's no roof to the tower.
Yeah.
There's no ceiling. There are sort of piles of rubble around the edges, and again, looking at them, they're very eloquently placed. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Like the entire look of this, it is the perfect crumbled tower. Like even some of the plant life that's growing into the rocks and things, the piles of stone and masonry that's been just dotted away, and it's curated, this entire look.
Yeah. I would very much like to walk up the steps of the tower. Can we, is that a thing that we can do?
Yeah. And again, the stone steps that curve up and around, they, there's little patches that are made to look a little bit more crumbled again, but never in a way that is dangerous to walk up. If everyone's looking around, can you all make an investigation check, please?
Oh my gosh.
11.
19.
I mean, I've rolled a 24, but I feel like I should roll at disadvantage because I can't see anything. I'm going to give myself disadvantage, and I roll a 2.
Oh.
So that's an 8.
I mean,
my
self-imposing
gosh.
disadvantage, Orryn. It's very honest of you.
You can't see anything.
What'd you get, Gaius?
6.
6. Okay. Orryn, Enkidu, and Gaius, you just get quite distracted by this dragon. It's a very nice dragon. The three of you start comparing stories you've heard about dragons.
It seems a bit small. That's all. That's my point.
Yeah.
Looks like a dragon I had once. I lived by the sea.
Oh yeah.
Puff was his name, I heard.
Oh, I've noted that one.
He was a magic dragon as well, ironically, but he looks very similar to what this depiction looks like.
Well, from what I've read, all dragons are a bit magic.
Yeah, I've heard there's a kingdom where dragons were gifted humanity with certain magic, and the humans could revive. Dragons somehow ended up being turned into stone, and humans could awaken a dragon from the stone so they could run the world again. I just had a boyish impulse to touch it and see if I could sense some kind of life in there, but I didn't want to take a chance.
You come up with some deep shit, man. Just saying.
So, Juna, as you head up the steps and you make your way to the little viewing platform, it is, again, up here there are vines strewn around the little railing that has been installed. It's overgrown, but to a really beautiful, pleasing state. Looking through the window, the little archway, it is just a view of the town, and you can see a few lights on here and there as people are sort of going about their nighttime routines. There are a few windows of families trying to put children to sleep that you can see spot from where you are. There are a few curtains drawn with shadows moving around inside. There are even out beyond, you can see just the smallest glimpse of the Lockholt Wood, even in the dark. Like,
Yeah.
sort of, you can see like the massive trees on the horizon. But beyond anything else interesting up here, no. You think this entire platform is just designed to see the town. It's a beautiful
Okay.
view. Gwendolyn, with your 19, you start looking around the rubble and things that's around the bottom. You just sort of walking along the walls, and you get toward the bottom of the stairs, actually. And there is a single brick in the wall that catches your attention. Because it has the carving of a rose on it.
Oh.
A very particular carving that very particularly matches the necklace that you're wearing.
I decide to touch the stone. I'm either going to kind of press it like it's a button, or if that doesn't work, I'm going to try and pull it out.
Yeah. So as you press it, it does pop out as if it's on a spring.
I investigate the stone.
Yeah. So it doesn't come right the way out. You have a quick look at it, and it's still attached to the wall, but there is clearly something holding it. There's like a metal bar on the other side of it. The brick itself, though, can now be turned.
I turn it.
Lovely. 3 boys, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh my gosh, bloody Nora. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, 17.
11.
12.
As Gwendolyn is just turning this brick, the 3 of you having your discussion about the dragon, Enkidu notices at first that the section of tiled floor that you're stood on just starts sliding backwards. It drops for a moment and then starts sliding backwards. Enkidu very naturally steps off of it. Gaius and Orryn, however, just stumble forward onto the first of a set of steps.
Hey! Oh!
And the rest of the floor like slides sort of in this small sort of 4x4 section of the tiles, just slides away into the flooring itself. At the base of the dragon statue, there's now a set of steps that leads about 15 feet directly downward.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Gwendolyn has a huge smile on her face. And she can't help but want to investigate what's down there.
Cool. So Gwendolyn rushes straight over.
Yeah.
Goodness sake.
She's really keeping an eye out because she knows that there could be traps, and so she tells everybody to be very careful, but she feels like she's going to be able to deal with anything.
First up, make an investigation check for traps then.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no, that's a 4. So, obviously, she's
just too eager to get down those steps.
She's just too excited.
Juna, obviously you can see that there's a bit of commotion going on downstairs, so you're welcome to join in.
I'll start coming down the stairs.
With Gwendolyn leading the way, who is heading down?
I see that she's like kind of foolishly run off into like unknown darkness, and I kind of wearily nod my head to the lads, and I just like I hop down.
Is it completely dark down in the staircase?
Yeah. It's complete, yeah, it leads into...
At this point, Orryn's just going to grab a rock, get his little phosphorus out and just be like,
Oh man.
right, stealthing's over, I think. And just light up a rock so we can see what's going on.
Cool. So, yeah, you can see where you are. Gaius and Juna, are you heading down the steps as well, or are you staying?
I'm going to go down the steps, but I imagine because I was at the top, I'm probably at the back
A little
of
way
the
behind.
party, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, sure. Juna, just keep an eye out for anyone who might be like overseeing or seeing where we're going.
All right. I have a look around.
Cool. Juna, make a perception check then.
That would be a 5.
Cool. Nice. Very good look
Standard.
at. To be fair, you're quite old, and these stairs, well, as I said, they were designed to not necessarily be dangerous. You're just taking your time coming down them.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn, you rush down. Like I said, it's only about 15 feet of steps in a direct line downwards. And you get to the bottom, and there is a door. It's an iron door, heavy iron door. Again, pretty standard for what you know this to be.
Yeah.
You have a quick look at it, however, and this one has no handle, no lock. The only thing that is interesting or notable about the door is that on the front of it is the phrase carved in, "The word is the key."
The word is the key. Oh.
Is it written in common?
It's written in common. Everyone can read that. Yeah, and slowly and surely, Enkidu comes down after Gwendolyn, like followed by Orryn, and Gaius just joins at the back.
And me.
Juna's probably by this point just gotten to like say like the ground floor. She's next to the dragon.
I'm quite far behind. Cool.
You're
cool,
quite
cool,
far
cool.
behind, yeah.
Okay.
You're not quite to the top of the stairs just yet.
Gwendolyn, you seem to.
Isn't it beautiful? Isn't this just fantastic? Everything, every part of it. He's such a genius.
What?
The word.
What are you on about?
Anybody want to try and work this out? I mean, I try and touch the writing that says word just to see if anything comes away.
No, not in this instance. It's just carved into the iron.
Is there a key? Oh, is there a keyhole anywhere?
No keyhole, no nothing. Just the word is the key. What could the word be?
Do you know who's put this here?
Sorry, I'm gonna. So, Gwendolyn, what's the Elvish for key?
Yeah, sure. I say key in every language I know, Common, Elvish, and all.
Cool. Can Orryn, Gwendolyn, Enkidu, and Gaius make a dexterity saving throw, please?
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
No, I wasn't ready.
Oh no.
That is a 21 for me.
Oh, of course it is for you.
Yeah, Gwendolyn's fine.
11.
8.
13.
So, as Gwendolyn quite happily starts reciting all known words in different languages for the word key, Juna, at the top of the stairs, you watch as this dragon drops to its all fours, just slowly turns its head,
Oh no.
opens its mouth, looking directly down the stairs, takes a deep breath, and huge breath of fire just rushes down the stairway. So Gaius and Enkidu, you both take 14 points of fire damage.
What?
Gwendolyn and Orryn, you both only take 7.
Oh my gosh.
As
Oh my god.
unbeknownst to all of you, it's only that Gwendolyn, not really realizing, so going, oh well that hasn't worked, turned around, has caught sight of this dragon and like this flame, so has ducked down. Orryn, seeing Gwendolyn do that, copies the same, and then Enkidu and Gaius, your reaction's just that little bit too slow.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Okay, stop. Whatever everyone's doing, stop it.
Stop.
Like, Gwendolyn gasps and, like, clasps her hands over her mouth.
What happens to the dragon? Like, is the dragon like gone back to stone after it does this, or is it still?
It's still moving. It's not necessarily ready for another attack. It is just slowly breathing and staring at the 4 of them at the bottom of the stairs.
Clarify, DM. That was 14 points of damage.
14 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
7 if you rolled 13 or lower.
Okay, guy is not looking good.
Yeah, neither is Enkidu, who's barely hanging on.
I think I'm gonna shout down the stairs. No, whatever you just did, don't do it again.
Yep.
You look I don't have anything to heal you.
I can heal one person.
It hurts.
I'm not there yet, Baby David, am I?
No, you're basically like moving around the dragon at this point. And so stood at the top of the stairs, it's up to you whether or not you stand within its like line of fire or
I'm gonna not but I have to do that to get down the stairs, right?
Yep. You can see, like, from your view, you can just about see everybody gathered at the bottom of the stairs. They're about 15 feet away.
Okay, I'm going to be like, don't do what you just did. And I can come and help you, but don't do what you just did.
No.
Hey?
I'm in so much pain.
I take my water skin and try to pour some of the water on Gaius's burn.
Okay. I'm just gonna like, I can't reach my loot because I'm really burnt and hurting, and I'm just gonna sort of like whimper to myself, oh, this spot is on fire, and I will words, which gains me back 9 points of damage.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh, well done. I'm going to die if anything touches me.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to Enkidu and get my little metal flask out with the bees, and to just go over and sort of quickly adjust them to be more into burn heal mode rather than patching up cuts and grazes, and let them go to work.
Cool. Yeah, and they do. They skitter across, almost like letting out a little oil or like sort of a little liquid that just soothes everything as they're going along.
A little bit of salve. Oh,
Yeah.
hello. Rolled well. That is 12 points of
Nice.
health back.
Oh, wow.
Rolled an 8.
Pretty much almost back to 4, thank you.
I'll shoo my bees back into the cup, noting that they look pretty tired out and that they probably can't do anything else for the rest of the day.
I clasp his arm in thanks and just slowly get back to my feet. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I should have realised it wouldn't be that simple.
Yeah, well, to be fair, no one's going to just assume that the stone dragon's going to breathe fire up their ass. Oh.
Yes, you wouldn't know, would you?
What got you so excited in the first place? The look on your face was just so out of character.
I think you'll find I smile a lot, just not often when you're speaking.
I'm sorry, hang on. Wait, you know we are skulking about a potentially dangerous person's estate. A trap door opens and what? You expect us to believe this is natural behaviour? Goodness sake, get a grip.
Can we just clarify that in the space of 1 minute, Enkidu just got burned twice. Funny and all, but also seriously, there's a freaking dragon looking at us.
And it is like the statue is still just slowly breathing, waiting for you to make another move.
This security device is the work of, either my father or my sister. So I recognise the craftsmanship, and it's really the most excellent work you could possibly have done, but it does mean it's going to be incredibly hard to get into. But if they've used my father for this security, then, well, there's something very, very valuable behind this door.
Your family designed this?
Well, my father, yes. My sister's his main apprentice. I'm not quite as mechanically gifted.
Okay, so we can unpack that a little bit later on, because that's absolutely worth unpacking. But right now, what would you say is the best remedy for getting through this thing?
I'm not 100% if we're going to be able to. I mean, well, we've got this dragon to contend with. We've got to work out what this answer to this riddle is. I think perhaps it may be beyond our skill set, and I don't feel like you want to get burned again, really.
No. Well, at least we can surmise that the door has some kind of feature that allows it to recognise speech. Because as soon as you spoke those words, that thing came down.
It certainly knew somebody was trying to get in.
The word is the key. And you say that whoever hired your dad would be very rich, wealthy, powerful?
Absolutely. My father only does work for the most wealthy and people who really want something a bit special.
We can presume then it's the family that's hired your dad to do this. So do we know anything significant about the family? Any significant people? I don't think we want to say their last name, but do we know anything about them at all, gang?
Well, we could learn something interesting from the lunch tomorrow.
Is the dragon stopping us from leaving?
You've not tried walking back up the steps just yet, but it is still staring down at the four of you.
Am I down the steps yet, or still walking down them?
It's up to you, Juna, whether or not you want to step into into the line of sight of this dragon.
Yeah, well, I shouted down, like, whatever you did, don't do it, and I can see them sort of having a conversation. So I think from there, that's when I started walking down.
Yeah, you would have joined them by the bottom now.
Is there anything in my memory that would perhaps help me work this out? Could I have seen any plans? Could I have overheard any conversations?
Yeah, make a history check.
Ooh, there's a 21.
21! So, whilst you haven't necessarily come across this specific one, you've had various conversations with your father and your sisters gloated about certain things. And even with Elric getting involved in some of the design aspects, that it is possible to program a password, essentially, that only certain people know to gain access to one of the vaults or the things that your father builds. You've not necessarily seen this particular phrase as like a clue for it, but actually thinking about it, that's probably what this is that there is a very specific word that only people who are allowed access know.
I relay that information to the others, that's what I think is happening here.
How did you open this staircase?
Oh, I found a secret button in the tower. It's, a secret button, secret stone, really. It's absolutely stunning.
Actually, with a 21 as well, you'd probably know that the dragon attack is only for somebody forcing their way in. You get the sense that you could probably, if you were to walk away, you'd have some safety.
I tell them that as well.
Okay.
I wonder whether we need to get some sort of a word or password from the people who live here and come back.
I think that's probably going to be the only way to do it. I mean, if it's a password, it could be absolutely anything.
And more immediately, did that attack alert anyone from within the mansion that they're trying to break into this place?
Oh, that's a good point.
Set something off inside.
Oh, yes, possibly.
Yeah. Maybe we need to not be here.
I think that's a good idea.
Gaius is going to, get up and gingerly, but ever so quickly, step towards the dragon. Is the dragon going to move or do anything?
It's keeping its eye on you, but it's not breathing in for another attack, you can see.
I'm just going to peek my head over the tower. Is there anyone coming towards the tower?
Make a quick perception check.
No. That's a natural 1 with a
Yay!
3, which makes 4. We're about to get arrested.
You just, when you're trying to be super sneaky about it, you keep popping your head up and drop down again, trying to catch a view, catch a view, and you can't see anything. You've no idea if someone's coming.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't see anything.
Everyone down on the bottom, what are your passive perceptions?
11.
12.
Okay, so it's what you do here is some movement from the other side of the door.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. That's someone on the other side. I think we need to. Okay, hide somewhere, not next to the door.
I think we should go back up these stairs.
Yeah.
Guys said that it's fine up the top.
Let's go up the stairs, and maybe we want to shut this passageway again, so they don't know that someone's opened
and maybe hide at the top and see who comes out.
Yeah, behind a wall or something.
Very stealthily. Make them up the stairs.
Everybody runs up. Can you all make a stealth check to see if you can find some hiding spots?
This abandoned tower.
15.
18.
What is wrong with my dice? 6.
You need to change that dice, man.
25.
Swapping dice. We're swapping dice.
14.
14. So most of you run up.
I do run and go and put the stone back in its original position.
Cool. So as everybody's come out, the whole tile floor, slides back into position where it was. However, in that moment, Orryn trips ever so slightly and drops his light rock.
Oh.
So that it bounces down the stairs and gets sealed in.
Oh, no.
Oh,
However, with the tiles back in position, the dragon sort of stands back up on its hind legs and rears back up into the position that it was and just becomes a completely still statue again. However, the rest of you just keep running. You run out into the darkness, dart behind walls. Are you trying to catch a glimpse of anyone coming out?
I would like to.
I would too.
Yeah, so would I, actually.
Yeah, so you all dive behind piles of rocks and behind bushes and things and catch a view. You wait there about 15 minutes. Nobody comes out. And another sort of 10 minutes go by. Still nobody.
They might be able to jump in and out without the door, maybe.
This is going to sound weird.
Or maybe they weren't coming out of the door. Maybe they just were kicking around in whatever's going on behind that door.
A sinister thought is creeping into my head that it's difficult to get in, but I wonder if it's difficult to get out. And I wonder if the noises you heard is the sound of someone trapped down there.
I'm actually thinking the same
This
thing.
is a good place to hide something or someone.
And the dragon is there to keep that thing from escaping, just in case it gets through the door.
Yeah, and to get people and anyone snooping around killed.
You thinking they might have someone from the village in there? Maybe the doctor.
The doctor.
I imagine someone more dangerous, but that's plausible as well.
Yeah, I
just know the doctor's gone missing is all.
And the doctor is rather important, even if not dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
That we know. Who knows? But, how much do you really know about this doctor?
Not much.
I think at lunch tomorrow we need to get the password to this place if we can.
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's return to knocking points and come up with...
Yeah, let's get out of here. I think we've done as much as we can.
Go around the side of the manor we've not gone around yet? Just to cover our bases?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I'm feeling stealthy.
Yeah, you're in the sort of southeastern corner of the estate. And as you all decide to sort of get up and start moving away, it really is only the southern side of the manor left before you reach the front gate again. Can you all make a perception check of the southern side?
Oh my gosh.
10.
17.
20. Unnatural.
4.
9.
Juna, what you do notice is actually, as you move along the southern side, it's very much designed, first of all, that there's a path that leads from the front round to the stables at the back of the house. And from this side, this is clearly the servants' entrance, which, you're very used to what those kind of things look like.
Damn Skippy.
Yeah. There's a few steps down to, sort of as you edge closer, what you can clearly see is the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to actually go down those steps to get a good view inside the kitchen, but you're quite comfortable in knowing that this is roughly where the servants are coming in and out of the house.
Fair.
The other thing that you do notice is that there is movement in one of the windows. This is like a 3-story house. It's got ground floor, first floor, second floor, and up in the second floor, there's a bit of movement in one of the windows. It's a sort of silhouette and a candlelight. This is not the same woman that was casting spells on the eastern wing. This is clearly a different woman. And just as she sort of comes up to the window to close some curtains,
Yeah.
you just catch sight of her copper hair
Oh, the copper hair from the woods.
that you saw in the woods. Yes. You get a very good view. She is in the house, just because of the way she's got her hair down and sort of the nightgown that she's wearing, she is very clearly a different woman from the one casting the spells, casting the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you don't know what she's doing in the house, and she closes the curtains and disappears.
I sort of look up and I go, bitch.
Miss Septhorn, what's wrong?
You know that woman that screwed us over and then we nearly
Yes.
died in the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's her. She's only a servant here. She's up there drawing curtains.
Enkidu's muscles tighten. His fists tighten. He's they're in for it.
I mean, I'm not adverse to going up there and giving her a good tongue licking.
She's within range. I could just... No.
Hi, time out. What? Wait, what?
Let's leave.
What's a tongue licking?
Yeah, what's a tongue licking?
Yeah, I've got questions about that too.
I don't know why I said it. That's not the expression, is
June's
it?
tough talk. I'm going to give you a tongue licking.
Tongue lashing,
I
right?
couldn't think of that.
We'll give you
That
a
was the
talking to.
phrase. That was it, like a good talking to. Is it a tongue
Tongue
lashing?
lash. I think it's a tongue lashing.
Tongue lashing. I'm not adverse to going up there and giving her a good tongue lashing.
Tongue licking. Tongue licking. Yeah.
No. Tongue licking, that's what you said. So no wonder they've got our stuff from the forest then. That's if she's the one that was pretending to be losing a dog and all of that.
So they're all in it together. Conniving little...
I feel like there's several threads going on here.
Is the door open to the servants' quarters? Like, how easy is it to get?
Oh my gosh, what?
No, it's clearly closed from what you can see. And you've managed to get up quite close to the house as well.
Oh.
We haven't rested since the woods.
No.
Now might not be the best time.
No.
But it's up to you. If she did you wrong, I'll stand by you,
I
Juna.
mean, she did us wrong, but Juna, she'll be here tomorrow.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
You can give her a tongue licking tomorrow.
Yes. Or we could assassinate them in their sleep tomorrow night. We don't know. It's up to you.
No, we know where she is for tomorrow.
Yes.
Great, so we're getting out of here then.
Yeah.
Is there is there anything else that we can see in the windows?
Not without heading right the way down the steps to the entrance of the servants' quarters.
I'll do that.
Okay, make a stealth check.
10.
So as you head down the first few steps, there is a brief bit of movement in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
It's quite dark in there. There is on one side just a soft, it's almost candlelight glow, but it's a little bit stronger. And as you sort of head down, you have to stop yourself because you see a very old half-orc lady sort of totter in, come round to sort of one side of the room, tamper with something near the glow, wander back again.
Oh.
Just as she's on her way out, however, with you halfway down the stairs, she stops and turns and starts heading over to the window to have a look.
The window that I'm looking in at.
Yeah, you're almost at. You're not even that close yet.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna duck.
Duck. Cool. Make a stealth check.
If we see her do that, can we duck instinctuously?
Yes.
Everyone else is far enough back that you're probably not going to be seen.
Okay.
9.
No.
Oh no!
Can I ask a quick question? Because I feel like she's going to definitely discover me. Do I recognise the half-orc lady at all, or is she just a stranger half-orc?
Just a stranger half-orc. She's very old, sort of white hair, tied back into like a little low plait. Mm-hmm. No, you don't recognise her. From the way she's moving about the kitchen quite comfortably, you get the impression that she's probably either a cook or some member of staff.
Okay. However,
you have a brief moment, you see her approaching, you like half scrabble up the stairs, half start ducking down, and she just comes right up to the window and like knocks on it. Oi!
Oh, hello!
And that's where we'll pick up next time.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orryn, Chris Watts as Gaius, Darrel Bailey as Enkidu, Grace Kelly Miller as Gwendellyn, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight. Please tell your friends, subscribe and follow us on all the social medias. Thank you for listening to No Small Roles. Anon for now.